This is a resume review, and I am a corporate recruiter. This is a resume review of a security system technician, but also CCTV and cameras, and I have no idea. So I couldn't find those jobs. This person is from out of the United States, which is okay. But again, I am a US-based recruiter. I don't really know the markets outside the US, and I could not find the job title that they were looking for. So this is going to be a review entirely on formatting, which also, should be okay because it doesn't look like they have the keywords anyway, but which isn't good. But they also have an issue if they put their full contact information and a giant picture of their face. So if you're in the United States, at least, and probably a bunch of other people's, don't put a picture of yourself. I don't need to see what you look like. All that does is open up discrimination against you from less savory recruiters and hiring managers. So don't put your picture. Here's how I want you to do it, okay? So again, I can't do keywords. Keywords are the most important part, but I don't know what you do. So what I want is this. I want this format. This is the best format, okay? The reason for this format is it's basic and boring, and basic and boring is good. So a lot of people get confused. They're like, why the hell would you make it unappealing? And the answer to that is some of the worst resumes I have seen in my life as a recruiter, besides nurses, which is a separate story, come from marketing people and people in graphic design. And your resume should not be pretty. The flashier and fancier your resume, the more likelihood it's going to get thrown in the trash. So this is just a tip to everybody. Make it boring and basic. That is what this is for. You need to think of your resume like a form that you turn into the government, not a marketing document. So with that said, I am still sick, so I may miss some more stuff. But even at a quick glance, there is nothing here that I see. Okay, configure. So this might be okay. Again, I don't know the keywords, but these keywords might be okay because I'm assuming that it's going to be office and network infrastructure. But the most important part is the keywords, which I can't find, so I have to do the formatting. And the formatting, this is awful. I'd rather have good keywords than good formatting, but preferably you'd have both. So please, 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 whoever you are, remake this. Find some job titles I can actually search for, because I'm not sure if you're looking for, I think you're looking for a installing security camera, but I don't fully know, and I don't think the job title you sent me is lined up with that. So with that said, if you want your resume reviewed, and most of them are much more detailed than this, I just have to work with what I get. Please submit it below, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you need more help, join my Twitch live stream at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. I am live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. till about 2 p.m. PST. So let's go with the next resume. This is a resume of a senior accountant / account manager. They are not looking for a job currently, but they want to make sure their resume is ready in case something happens, which I think is fair. I think you really should redo your resume. Not fully redo it, but just tweak it, test it every 3 months just in case, because you don't want to get caught by a layoff by surprise. So this person is a senior accountant or an account manager is what they're looking for. This person is a CPA. This person doesn't need to worry about half the stuff I teach because that market is very hot. So is this formatting not perfect? It's not. Should their education be at the top? Yes. Is it going to matter because this is for an accountant position? Probably not. But I'm still going to judge it just the same. But again, you see somebody with a CPA that applies for your job, that has a steady work history, you snap them up. This is a hot market. So, but yeah, education of Clown College and should be at the top, should be under here. Then it should be a U.S. citizen. Then it should be your education. Then this line doesn't need to be here. And then anything in this function does not need to be bolded. And then this needs to be one line. Again, not huge. They're an accountant. Probably doesn't matter, but I'm trying to be picky just in case. So what we're looking for keyword-wise is a BA or a CPA or a CMA. They want to see that you have QuickBooks and Excel, specifically pivot tables and VLOOKUP. Maybe month-end close reconciliation, financial statement preparation, along with auditors and working with internal teams, ERP/NetSuite, and maybe GAAP is important. Now, if we're going for specifically manager positions, you do want to throw in a little bit more of a leadership. Have you hired? Have you fired? That kind of thing. So let's look at this. They didn't give me a ratio because, again, they're not applying. They just want to make sure it's good in case something happens. So drove month and year-end closing, already perfect for the parent company, 4 subsidiaries, limiting income transparency, regulation presenting AC, complaint, financial statements. Okay, good. Analyze lease agreements for payment with liability, R&D. Okay, so what I want to see, Excel or QuickBooks somewhere here. And all you need to say, again, we're not necessarily looking to show that you're a master of them, which they're going to assume you are, is I just need to see analyze lease agreements using Excel. Worked in QuickBooks. But otherwise, this does show very specifically that you're looking for like end-to-end closing, which is one that they're looking for. We also want to see the word audit, which I do see down here. There we go. Okay, that's good. And then posting journal entries here to a 5-day close. Again, that can be good. I'm just missing some keywords, but it may not super matter. Because you see a CPA, you stat them up. But it would be beneficial to see, here we go, NetSuite, this is good. This should be maybe closer up, but it's still solid. But not bad. Again, here it is. Yeah, I just need it up close because ideally what you want is, I want to find all the keywords I need here. This is ideal. If it's down here, it's not as great. This is specifically why I say the education should be at the top, is because education and certificates can be what they're looking for. Those can be qualifications. And if they're a qualification, they need to be in the top half of the resume. You really, really, really don't want to get rejected because a recruiter screwed up and they didn't scroll all the way down. So education should be up top. You don't have to say when you graduated, just that you graduated, right? So ideally, we're missing some keywords in the first half. They are in the second half, which truthfully, because this is an accountant, it may not matter that it's in the first half, but I'm going to judge it based on the case it is to be extra harsh. But if this, if Clem applied to my accounting position, I would be like, boom, good, we're good, here we go. But I still want you to stand the best chance you can, and sometimes you get very, very picky people. It's not often, but it can happen. So, to summarize, we need your keywords up front more. If possible, your education should be up, and you have some minor formatting issues, but it may not matter because accounting is a hot market. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume review of a full stack dev. They have a 1:75 ratio, which is not good, but it's not the worst ever. Actually, I want to be very clear, especially if this is your first job. That could be a hell of a lot worse. They said they want full stack or data engineer. I'm going to specifically do full stack. Data engineer is a different set of keywords. If you want to apply to data engineer or back end, that's fine, but you need a separate resume for each of them. Do not have your same resume have data engineer and back end. You will fail. So give the reason most interviews you've done have declined and given the reason of not enough experience. Which you believe is because you have no internships. Look, I can't help you with the not enough experience. It's very possible that you're not showcasing your knowledge in the interviews. The entire purpose of a resume is to get an interview. Once it gets an interview, its job is done. So let's look at least to see if we can't get you more interviews. So what we're going to be looking for again is TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML. TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node, Angular, Next.js, SQL, React.js, API, REST, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, cross-functionally, and a bonus for any extra architecture or extra languages, preferably Python or Git. And again, you don't need all of this, you just need about 75% of it. So, detail-oriented graduate with web and data engineers with like I don't care. Professional summaries are not needed. Unless you are switching industries or there is something critically wrong with your resume, I don't need a professional summary. It just doesn't matter. These need to be under projects or skills. I need to know how they are. And in fact, this might actually be the case of your resume looks like it's hyping up your skills more than they are. And we don't want that either because that's just wasting your time. So developed a text art using C and Visual Art. It's just machine learning sentence in Python. This one's okay. YouTube, watch, full stack, Python, fast API, Tailwind, Redis. I mean, there's the formatting here is not good. So, geez Louise, there's everything kind of wrong with here. All right, so first off, let's start with formatting. All right, formatting is important because you don't want recruiters to miss what's in your resume. The harder it is to read your resume, the more likely it is they're going to miss, the more likely you're going to get rejected. Put your resume like this, okay? Education inserts up top. Yes, people argue, and the reason I put them up top, even if you have 5-8 years experience, is because education is a requirement, and all your requirements need to be in the top half of your resume. Because you don't want a recruiter to not scroll down and miss that that keyword, which in this case is education. So education goes up top. And then you can put your cert under it, and it's going to be written like this. Now you don't have work history, that's okay, we can do it instead for projects. So, I don't need this. This is probably why they're saying you don't have enough skills, is it makes it look like you've done more than you have. Which also isn't good. Because again, then you're wasting your time at interviews, and you could be applying for jobs that would be a fit. So, I need you to redo these. I don't need if you're doing, so first off, say projects, okay? Because this makes it look like you worked at East Carolina University instead of it's your project. So switch this to projects. Then you don't need to say East Carolina University. Then you can just do what the projects are. And then these projects, I need to be looking like this. Now, based on what I saw in my memory of data engineering, it looks like you may actually have more of a success as a data engineer than a full stack dev. But regardless, they should be two separate resumes. A phenomenal full stack dev resume will fail at getting you a data engineer resume and vice versa. So that's what you need to do. Fix the formatting, put the education inserts up top, put this as projects, and then actually give me details about what you did. Built a machine learning segmenter in Python because X and Y's. Why did you do that? What are the keywords? So you're missing a lot. And that's probably the issue, is this reads like you worked at this place. So it kind of looks like, yeah, it actually, by the way you did this, and because you don't say when you graduated, it very much looks like you worked at East Carolina University for 5 years. That's why you're getting the interviews. They think you're a 5-year senior dev, and they're like, okay, maybe he doesn't show how he's using this or she's using this, but at least we know they've got 5 years. And then you go there and no, you just graduated. So your resume is actually giving off the wrong impression, and that's why you're probably getting declined in the interviews, is because they're like, oh, this is a fresh grad, we wanted someone with 5 years. So fix it, put this as projects, put your education up at top. Don't put Carolina here. If it's under projects, it's assumed it's done at school, and then have actually good bullet points, and the formatting will start carrying you to get jobs, because you want to make sure you can get jobs. And then make another resume that is specifically for data engineering. So that is all I can do for this resume. Let's go to the next one. This is a resume review of a software engineer intern. So what we're going to be looking for with interns, very quick, is a basic knowledge of the tech stack. So language library, SQL, cloud, the ability to work well with others, that you take direction and criticism. And that's kind of it. Obviously, the tech stack is going to vary, but it's not crazy. You don't need as much stuff as you do when you're searching for a full-time job. Now, when you're looking for a full-time job after internships, what you do need specifically is then to pick a stack, but you don't need to do it for interns. So, this person has a 150-to-1 ratio, which ain't good. We want to lower that definitely to at least a minimum 75-to-1. Hopefully 50-to-1. So let's see, did they write me any notes? They did not. They just said a 1-to-50 ratio, so it could actually be worse than that. All right. Oh, this is a master, so you're going to probably want a little bit more tech. This should be, what the hell? This should be 2 lines max. I don't need this section. This can be rolled into 1 line. This can be rolled into 1 line. Technical skills don't count. Again, if it's not under a bullet point, I don't care. Except for high-level directors, they can get away with that a little bit because, you know, they're more about how they did other stuff than the keywords. But for IC and intern positions, this won't work. So this needs to be deleted. This needs to be 2 lines. Make the formatting like this, and now let's get the actual one. So, engineer scalable microservice using Java and Spring Boot and serverless laid Lambda. The skill that's fine. Limited process. Users while meeting deadlines and guidelines. That's actually okay. So here's part of my issue here, and this is probably why you're having the biggest issue, is why are you going from a software engineer to a software engineer intern? I understand you're going for a master's, but this is going to look weird. Was this a full-time job? Was this an internship? If it's not, that's still weird. You want your timeline to make sense. So, plus, this is highly focused on a lot of stuff I don't think they look for. I don't think RDS and can people even see this on the screen? Okay. I don't believe RDS and IAM matter in GDPR. Python does, but Ubuntu 3 I don't think matters. Transform CI/CD is good. Docker is fine. REST API. I don't think they care about JWT. At least if you're going for a software dev, which just seems more like a back-end Java. Lambda, I don't know if I need. Yeah, so there's a lot of extraneous stuff, and the formatting is not helping you because they're probably going to see a keyword here and miss it here. So nothing here should be bolded, and then you really have to make sense of why you're going for an internship after you've already got a full-time job. That may be an issue. And then again, two-factor authentication, I don't think I care about. AI course, this is fine, and then fine, yeah. So it's really just a formatting issue and a little bit of the bullet points, but it's more of the case of why are you going for an internship? I understand masters can do that, but it looks a little weird when you go from full intern to full-time to intern. And then your bullet points are okay, but if you're going for another intern, I still would like... the fact that you have that year's experience is okay. This is just a weird one, because I also don't know... Because masters are a little bit more specified than normal bachelor's interns. Typically, this is where you actually would need to pick a bit of a stack. But I'm assuming this is a Java backend, which it's okay at. It's just, again, the formatting and the timeline is off. Because this is the most important part of your resume. And you wasted it with irrelevant information, because this could have been in 2 lines max. This can be deleted, and then we can go down here and we can actually do the keywords, which I want you to focus on those keywords, because master level keywords are different than bachelor level intern keywords. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume review of a data engineer who is in my Twitch chat right now. So what we're going to be looking for, and this is going to be a little bit different. I have updated this list. Again, keywords can change, so it's always important to redo and relook at the list of keywords and make sure they're accurate. And we had some that I removed and others I added. So Python, ETL, and data pipelines are arguably, and cloud and SQL are going to be your most important. Each of these was in about a third of the job, no, 2/3 of the jobs that I found, or even higher. So these are arguably the most important keywords that we're going to be looking for. Python, ETL, data pipelines. Then some of them had Scala. That was in it. It was about 1 in 8 had Scala, which is still important. Then data is just good to have. Algorithms, SDLC, big data, cloud, warehousing was in, again, I think 1/10 of them. And the ability to manage and communicate data warehouse plans to a non-technical person. Also, this is in Canada, which may be partly why the list is a little bit different. But if you're a Canadian data engineer, these are the keywords. So, let's see if you have it. So, again, formatting is solid. I like this. I don't know if you really need this line here, but it's not huge. This is also where you may want to say, like, Canadian citizen located in X. It's always important to show where you're located if you're applying for on-site positions, because having done relocation a lot, it's kind of crazy. So, scalable AWS data lakes. Also, their current resume is a 1 in 200, which I think was better than previously, but still not good. Let's fix it. So, Design scalable A3 Redshift warehouse using Star and Snowflake schemas, enabling analytics across team. Built automated ETL pipelines with Python, Spark, and SQL. Databricks, time and cut data computing costs. Okay. Implemented using CloudWatch. All right. So I think your issue is you have too much. There's a lot of extraneous keywords here, and I think that's probably the biggest issue. Is maybe one or two have Glue or Databricks. This sentence has too many numbers in it, and truthfully, I think this should be your first one. It said built our company's automated ETL pipelines using Python, SQL, Spark, which for our to reduce our AWS computing costs. Right, that is something we can have. That way, it gives what you need. It removes sort of the glues and Databricks, which again I can check after, but these are arguably the most important ones, right? These right here, and then the SQL and the cloud. So, advise cross-functional teams is not as necessary for IC. There's apparently full stack it's needed now, but I don't think I really saw a lot of cross-functional, nor what GDPR compliant data governance. Redshift, again, maybe if you're applying specifically for Redshift ones, but I don't see a single Redshift. CI/CD is okay. Jenkins, Docker, and Git. I don't really care about those, though. So yeah, there's just a lot of extraneous keywords. And then PySpark, again, Apache Airflow, Big Data Spark. Yeah, I think that's just the biggest issue right now, is specifically there's just too many, right? And again, the skills sections aren't really needed. Because if you find it here, it's what we're looking for. So I think we need to focus. Maybe you need a couple of extra resumes, so one for data engineer with Redshift, one for not. But I think this issue is a lack of focus in the resume. So let's move on to the next one. This is a resume review of a help desk person. This is their second time submitting. They haven't used this one as a ratio yet, so that we don't know the ratio, but they want to know what to do to tweak it. Any help is super helpful. So they are changing industry. So first off, what we're going to be looking for is a high school diploma, a GED, or a bachelor's. Those were a lot of qualifications. So again, all qualifications should be up top in the first half, and that is one of them. It doesn't matter which one of those you have, going to differ depending on the company, but it's good to show that. Then I want to see troubleshooting software and hardware. This was a huge thing. So they want to know that you can fix both hardware and software issues. And again, you're not like rebuilding PCs from scratch. It's like, hey, Microsoft Office isn't opening, how I fix. And then you show how I fix. Along with customer service, you're going to be talking to a lot of people whose monitors are not turned on. And you have to tell them to plug it in. And you need to not rage at them during that. So customer service is important. Then the words backup, recovery, printers, scanners, monitors, and UPS. Man, UPS is nice, but let's not have it for this one. Then a CompTIA Network Plus of security is a plus, but is not required. And then Microsoft Office 365, that does include also Microsoft Office Suites, iOS, Android, Apple, Microsoft. So again, do you need all of these? No, but companies would prefer that you at least have some of these so that they know what area you're working in. And that is always beneficial. So, let's see. All right, detail-oriented, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you overdid it, all right? I don't need this. All I need you to say is switching into help desk from training coordinator. That's it. That's all you need to do, all right? That's the summary. It's very quick. It's very simple. There's nothing crazy. That's all you need to do. In addition, if you are a U.S. citizen or green card holder, it is very beneficial to put that here. So it would be U.S. citizen in Riverside, CA, because that way, in case somebody's being discriminatory, you have extra proof, which is always beneficial. Or you misclick the wrong button, they can see it there. Education, yeah, I think that's okay. I don't know if this is needed or not, but I don't think this is a terrible thing to have. So, training quarter, manage a team of 3 cloud training hires. Okay, I don't care. No. All right, so again, here's part of the problem. this doesn't have what I need, right? I don't care about data-driven productivity. Your job is not to manage a team of 3 employees. Your job is to tell those employees their monitor is turned off and how to plug it in. So that's what I'm missing here. If anything, you may want to even delete this because I don't know if there's anything here. Now, you can have like a quick sentence or two that just says like, you know, worked with customer service. That's fine. But this is not relevant. And you want to target your resume for relevancy, because if there's not relevant stuff, people can miss the actual relevant. Mentored and coached 10 elementary schools in Scratch, Python, and JavaScript, fostering early coding skills. Again, that's okay. Course based on student goals. You focus a lot on creating courses, and I know that's impressive to you, and I want to be clear, it is nice. It's just not nice for this role. Again, curriculum hacking. It's not really what I'm looking for. This one is good, right? Like, so here's where you could kind of tweak this. The EMT can be a benefit because this shows that you can maintain cool in crisis situations. So what I'd like for you to do is to say like how you maintained your cool in a crisis situation. How did you keep customer service while maintaining airflow? You know, that's important. And because in this entire thing, right, I want to be clear, your formatting is much better, but again, I'd rather have bad formatting than bad bullet points. But there's nothing here that I could really use except maybe this line. You need to rethink how you're writing this and have this stuff here, because I think you have it. I'm assuming you have this stuff, but if it's not on the resume, I can't move you forward. I need to know how you worked with Android, Apple apps, Android, Apple, or Microsoft, or iOS. I need to know how you fixed a computer. I need to know how you fixed a printer or a monitor. You do have the CompTI, which is good. Definitely keep that. But I don't see anything about troubleshooting here or customer service. And those are troubleshooting. Customer service is 70% of the help desk job. So that's what you need to show. Maybe come on the channel and I can help you out with bullet points, but I don't see what I'd be looking for here to move you forward as a help desk. So that's it for this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you all on the next video. And if you need help, join my channel, twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. I am live Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST till about 2 p.m. So I will see you all in the next video.